Hi, it's Lisa here from Soul to Soul Yoga. Sorry, not sorry for the appearance. I was just preparing dinner and I thought I would do a quick tutorial on what we're having tonight. But I've just got out the bath, so my hair is drying. Face mask is drying on, which Cassie just did for me. So I thought I'll get dinner prepared. It'll be in the oven, and whilst I'm waiting it for it to finish, you'll see my full beauty. Okay, so we're going to start. This is butternut squash, stuffed butternut squash. I had a squash in the cupboard, so I thought, what can I do with it? And I'm going to stuff it with some vegetables, with some spices, and some couscous. And then I'll serve it with some salad later on. So, first of all, you want to cut your butternut squash in half, chop the ends off, and then just scoop out the pips. I've kept the pips because I'm actually going to wash them and then I will fry them later. We'll fry them, sort of oven bake them in a little oil later, and they go crispy like nice little chips. So really tasty. But the first thing we want to do is get our butternut squash into the oven. So we pop them into a baking tray. I'm just going to put a little bit of oil. I've just used vegetable oil here. You could probably use a a brush, but I'm just going to use my hands. And then I'm going to need a tissue, something to just wipe. Not a dog bag from the dog walking, just something to clean my hands. But yeah, use a little brush, a little bit of salt, and some ground pepper. And then I'm going to pop that in the oven, really till it's soft, but it is going to cook a second time with the vegetable filling. So probably about half an hour on 200 degrees. But again, you want it so that it's almost soft, not completely soft. And then we're going to do stage two. So coming over to the cooker, I'm going to make the filling. So I'm going to heat up some oil. Now, what do we have here? We have 3 or 4 cloves of garlic, and we've got a white onion, a chopped tomato. This is a yellow pepper, but you could use any colour pepper. And I've put some celery in just because I had some celery to use, but you don't have to use that, of course. Some people aren't keen on celery. First things first, we want the onion and the garlic to go in. Wait till the oil heats just a little bit, and then just start to move it around. Okay. So having a little look over there while I just go and grab a couple of ingredients. That's sizzling away nicely. Now I'm going to add the celery and the pepper. Again, you could have this on just a low simmer and you could simmer it for a good few minutes, just for speed, so that you're not just watching someone stir a pan. I'm not going to take too long on this first stage. You could use any, I suppose you could use some greens in here, maybe a bit of spinach, some courgette if you had it. It's going to be more filling than butternut squash space, so I'm going to make it so that we can have it as a little side as well, or maybe even have it tomorrow cold as a salad. Then I'm going to pop the tomatoes in, and again, give it a little stir around. A little bit of salt, a good ground of black pepper. I really love pepper, and it's very good for you. Another thing to put liberally on your food. Helps with a lot of absorption, actually, of some of the nutrients in food. Always think, what spices can I get in there? The body likes spices. And how many vegetables, how many different types of vegetables can I eat in a day? And fruits. Okay, so what else are we going to use? We're going to use some paprika. So it's kind of like a warm spice. This one's just a plain paprika. You can get ones that are a little bit more hot and spicy, or more sweet. This is just a kind of average paprika. I'm going to put the rest of that in because it's nearly finished. And a little bit of cayenne pepper, which is like a chili. So I'm not going to put too much in because obviously you can always add chili at the end. And I do like to add different types of chili, so maybe some chili sauce, some sriracha, or some incona. Just adds a slightly different dimension when you add it in a different way. And then I'm going to pop some tomato puree, a good blob, probably a teaspoon, maybe a tablespoon. Let's see what's left in here. This seems about perfect. Give it a spoon. Okay, and then a little stir around. Now, that's going to simmer away until it becomes quite soft. And then we'll do stage 2. We'll add some couscous, some ground, some cooked couscous into that. So I'm going to leave that to cook away for at least 10 minutes or so. As I said, we've got some time to wait before the squash is ready. So we'll come back and I'll be magically transformed as well as the dish. So while that's cooking down, I'm just going to toast these butternut squash seeds that came out of the squash. So I've just given them a wash, popped a little bit of oil in the pan with some salt, and they're sizzling away. Now I'm going to pop them in the hot oven, but literally probably 2-3 minutes. Just keep an eye on them. They burn quite quickly and then they're bitter. So obviously you can put them in a little bit longer, taste them, see if they're crispy. And then the sauce is just bubbling away on a low heat at the same time. Okay, so this has been bubbling away for about at least 10 minutes. I've had it on a little longer in the low oven because I cook on an alga, but yeah, you want to see that it's all like jammy like this. Now, in hindsight, I probably would have put a bit more tomato in because I want it quite saucy to go with the couscous otherwise. So actually I have just a little passata here, which is just tomato sauce, but you could add extra tomatoes or tinned tomatoes. I just want a little bit more sauce to go. I'm also going to add a splash of balsamic. This is good balsamic, it's really lovely. It just adds again another little bit of acidity. And you always want to try and balance acidity in your dishes with sweetness. I'm going to add a squirt of sriracha and a squirt of ketchup. Now, before anyone goes, oh, ketchup, all the top chefs use ketchup. Heston Blumenthal, Jamie Oliver say you cannot actually beat good old tomato ketchup for a little bit of umami kind of savouriness. So there you go. I'm in good consistency. And then I'm just going to let that, so you can see that's a bit more saucy now. Now I'm going to add.
You're looking very glamorous.
Oh, thank you. Oh yes, forgot. Taken off my face and dried my hair. Now I'm going to. Thank you, cameraman. Now I'm going to add. This is already cooked couscous. I'm not going to add all of this. I always overdo it, and I always overcook stuff as well. But there you go. So this couscous probably is a little bit clumpy and I did too much. But the way I see it is if you've got too much, now I've got a couscous salad for lunch. So I just put that with some, a few salad vegetables, a little bit of dressing, and I've got a quick lunch. So if you've got leftovers, it never goes to waste. Or if I was going to do a stew, you could just add that as well. So I want to taste this. Oh, that's nice. Now, you could add quinoa or rice, I guess. It's quite spicy. Oh, I do like a poke though, so to speak. I'm going to add a tiny bit more couscous in there. Now, this is going to be way too much couscous for those butternut squashes, so I think they're just about ready to go. So again, I've got a little bit of this extra filling that we can add and we can have it on the side. So that's going to just wait. Let's pop it on here. Put this in there on the side. And I'm going to get my squashes out the oven. They've been cooking actually longer than I planned. So they've been in for about 40 minutes. Now they're almost soft. You can see the char grilled on the top. That's because I turned them on one side for about 20 minutes and then on the other side. You can eat the skins. There's nothing wrong with the skins. I eat the skins of loads of vegetables. A lot of us peel. Things like kiwis, mangoes, you can eat the skins of if they're not too tough. But these, once they're cooked, they're really nice actually. And there's a lot of nutrition in most skins. So that's soft, but it's not really, really soft. But we are going to cook them again. So let's take it over here and assemble the dish. So you see, that has an inadequate hole as far as I'm concerned. So I'm going to take a little bit of this filling out and reserve it for later. I'm going to eat, I will put it with my lunchtime salad. Sometimes I will just have a bowl of leftovers. And that's what I'm going to have today. So now we have equal holes, so there's no argument when it comes to tea tonight between me and Jim. So we're going to pop the stuffing into. Now I'm not going to be too precise. This is coming a little bit over, that's fine. So you're going to pop it into the hole, squish it down, and a little bit up and over the squash to give yourself a little bit more filling. And the rest of that, as I said, I'm either going to eat it or that can go on the side of the dish tonight. That's going to now go into the oven for another 10-15 minutes just to bring it all together. And then I'm going to sprinkle it with some of these toasted pumpkin, well, these are toasted squash seeds that I showed you earlier. So just washed, tossed in some oil, and they crunch are really good. Don't waste pumpkin and squash seeds. Really burn quickly, so just a couple of minutes, a little bit of sea salt. You even put some curry spices on and have them as a healthy snack. Really good. You probably could plant them and have more squashes tomorrow next year, but we're going to eat these. So next stage, back in the oven, 10 to 15 minutes. So let's get the squashes out of the oven. You can hear them sizzling away. Oh, and as you can see, they look nicely cooked. Nice and brown on the outside, just a little bit on the edge, which I like. Okay, and then you just want to make sure that it's all cooked through and heated, and that's all you need to do. And then we're just going to serve. So look at the size of that. You could probably share that between two, but you know, it's only a vegetable with a green salad on the side. That'll be delicious later. And then just to garnish, I'm going to pop a little bit of rocket on because I haven't got parsley. So rocket's always good, anything green. And a few of these little toasted squash seeds that came from the squash that it now adorns. Always lovely. Most dishes benefit, all curries, most tomato-based dishes, from a little squeeze of lemon. That just really, you could eat the pip, I guess. So there you have it. Butternut squash stuffed with couscous and spices and tomatoes and loveliness, and I hope you enjoy. Namaste.